you got to recognize that marijuana has the best safety record of any popular drug out there, including caffeine. Caffeine has more overdose deaths and more overuse deaths than cannabis. Caffeine, it's about 6 overdose deaths on record and 1,000 to 10,000 overuse deaths every year in North America. Marijuana, 0. Even people who smuggle marijuana and have the baggies burst in their bellies don't die of overdose. It's about as safe as peppermint. I don't know, I wouldn't want to die of a peppermint overdose. I'm not sure about that. But it has less withdrawal symptoms than caffeine. If you stop using caffeine and use it every day and you stop using it, you get a headache. With marijuana, you miss it. You miss being high. That's it, no headache, no shakes, no bugs crawling all over you. And with marijuana, it is not associated with beating people up like alcohol is. Again, there's no connection with cancer like tobacco. It's if I was to have children and I would recommend a recreational drug for them, marijuana would be the first one I suggest. You know, alcohol and tobacco would be the last two I suggest. Mushrooms would be somewhere in the middle there. But the point is, we got to learn to use all the plants properly. Coca, it's a lot more dangerous when you take the extract of coca and sniff it up your nose every day and you can't feel happy any other way. But when you chew it, like the Peruvians, to acclimatize themselves to high altitudes, then it's okay. Same thing with opium. When you use it every day for recreation, it's no good. You suffer withdrawal when you stop. But if you use it just for your aches and pains, it's fine. It's safer. It has a better safety record than aspirin. And you go down the list of all the plants, they can each be used properly and each be used to your benefit. It's about time we had the freedom to use all the plants. And now, without further ado, I have my friend from Pot TV and one of the folks facing extradition to the United States to face life in jail for a harmless seed distribution, alleged seed distribution. I have Marijuana Man! Give it up for Marijuana Man!
Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for coming out. We've joined 263 other cities around the world and tens, maybe hundreds of thousands of other people today. So let's give a cheer out for every other city on the planet that turned out today. It's unfortunate, once again, that we even have to be here. This is not really a celebration of marijuana. It's a disgust for the laws that prohibit the use of it. Yeah. And we've stood up around the world today and told the people of the world, whether or not they listen is another question. We don't have good access to the press. But yes, I am one of the BC3 along with Mark Emery and Michelle Rainey, who are facing extradition to the United States for allegedly selling a few pot seeds to an undercover DEA agent.
So I didn't get it yet.
The march will be going down to the U.S. consulate so we can tell the U.S. what we think about them coming to Canada. Not only to try to pluck 3 people out who have voiced their disgust about these laws, but that they would even push that their stupid drug war on another country, or that this country would allow them to do that.
And then I send it to...
Now when I say that this isn't a celebration about marijuana, today is a day, and thank God that you've turned up today with the banners and the shirts and your attitudes and your weed. So at least we can walk out through the city and be heard. But don't think that because you turned out and did that, that you've done your part. We need to do a whole lot more, folks. The business of prohibition is one of the biggest industries in this country, I'll bet. And it's the prohibition of cannabis that fuels it. We have got to contact our politicians and tell them that we do not support them if they support the war on cannabis. These are the people who can change the laws, and they are the only people who can change these laws. Tell them you will not vote for them. Tell them that you will campaign against them. They are dear to keep their seat in Parliament. They want to be there. You have got to push them. They will be pushed. That's what they do. Pharmaceutical companies push them. The police push them. Anybody who makes a buck off cannabis being illegal pushes them. And that's why it's illegal today. This plant has harmed no one. Can you believe that 12 million people have been arrested around the world for the use of a substance that doesn't even hurt them, let alone anyone else? In this country, the prohibition of cannabis is fueled by the police. They have the most to gain, they have everything to gain, and they continue to lie about marijuana. They continue to have access to the press, who do not ever check one fact that the police utter about marijuana. After you go away from here today, read anything you want to reported about marijuana, and it will only be from the police's point of view. The police said, the police arrested, the police counted, the police carried. That's all they get. That's all the world is hearing about marijuana, is what the police say. Why are they doing this? If this is a harmless substance, why are they doing this? For the budgets that they receive to continue to fight a fictitious war. It is absolutely fake. Not that it's just a failure. So I urge you today to go home, to spread the word, to write letters to politicians, to write to newspapers and say that you do not accept this kind of journalism anymore.
Stand up, write letters, make phone calls, talk to your neighbors. This is important stuff. Our forefathers were willing to go to war and die for our right to be free. And our politicians have sold us out, and we need to put them back in the box they deserve to be in, not interfering with our lives until we move on over top of the line and bother somebody else. Until that time, don't force us to use alcohol, don't force us to use tobacco, pharmaceutical products that kill 110,000 people when used properly every year. Thank you very much. Michelle Rainey, where are you? She's going to lead our march.
Hi everybody, I'm the Vice President of the BC Marijuana Party. I am up for extradition to the U.S.
Hell no!
That's right. I fought for 10 years to get my legal exemption in this country. I have Crohn's disease. Medicinal marijuana saved my life. I am walking, living proof of that. I quit a 10-year bank career to prove to the world that you can live on medicinal marijuana and not pharmaceuticals. And I am going to die in my country and not in the USA. And I expect you all to march and help us. All of you, you've got to convert the non-converted. We need your help. So come on, everybody, let's march for cannabis.
But I thought maybe we could say something on behalf of the whole wide world. America, if there is one thing you want to do to make things better in the Middle East, to free up your jails, to get your Constitution back, fire George Bush. The one thing you can do, America, to clear your name that has been dragged through the mud in blood and gush in Middle East and around the world in South America, it is fire.